Full time at Selhurst Park, Palace 0, Burnley 3. What the hell was that? I don't know what to say about that. It was absolutely shocking. I said in my preview, got to sort out defending against Burnley, specifically from set pieces, because we know they're a threat from set pieces. And on top of that, we've been so poor this season defensively from set pieces. 5 minutes in, it wasn't a set piece, it was an open play, but it was a set piece like cross, from deep, as if it was a deep free kick from Peters. Allowed to cross the ball from deep. Van Aanholt and Dan, no communication. He ends up clearing the ball, Van Aanholt, into Dan's arse. Bobbles into Goodmanson, who turns and sweeps it into the bottom corner. Lovely finish. Nothing Guaita could have done. And absolutely shocking. Again, communication. What communication? No leadership. And when the goal goes in, we trudge back to the halfway line. No one giving anyone a bollocking. So frustrating to watch. 5 minutes later, first corner for Burnley, or second corner, cross comes in, and literally it is 2 yards out. Vincente's got a man on him, but still should go through him and the ball. Should do better there, the keeper. And on top of that, we've had two players jump in front of Rodriguez and miss the ball. Goes over their head. They mistimed the jump. No one actually marking Rodriguez. He just nods it in. He doesn't even have to jump. He just nods it in. It falls onto his head in the 6-yard box. Shocking. And it highlights the point that I said so many times this season. We cannot defend set pieces. We have to improve there. And every time any team puts a cross in the box, it looks like they're going to score. It can be any team. Every week, corners and free kicks look like they're going to go in. Shocking. Rest of the half, and then at 1-0, I feel like we're 90% of the way there from this game being done, because of the way Burnley's set up when they go 1-0 up, similar to how we used to set up last season. The stats showed, I think it was like 80% of games where we went 1-0 up last season, we went on to get the win. And that's what Burnley do this season, and it's what we struggle to do. Whenever we go behind, we struggle, it's with or without Wilf, and that's another issue, of course, but the whole was a hard thing, but we just didn't look like scoring at all. I come out the second half, and straight away, it's as if, first of all, Roy made no changes. Incredible how you can be 2-0 down at home and Roy not to make any changes. Didn't even change the system either. Even Eze in the first half was the only one who had a bit of something about him. He hardly had the ball, to be fair, but he's playing out wide, and when Will's not in the team, Eze is our most creative outlet. He is our most creative player, and he did what he could today in the position he was in, I believe. He hardly had the ball, but you put him out wide, you don't put him in the middle. 4-2-3-1 was begging. We were begging to go 4-2-3-1 and have Eze behind Benteke or Batshuayi up front, and to have Luke and Gyro behind him. It just baffled me the way we set up against Burnley. Why would you set up the way we did with our best creative player out wide, not involved in the game, hardly getting any touches of the ball? It just was so baffling to me. It was so baffling. Benteke is another problem as well. Why is he starting? What did Mateta do to get dropped? Yes, he didn't have the best of games against Leeds, but no one did. And he definitely wasn't the reason we lost that game against Leeds. He did everything I think he could have done with the service he got given against Leeds. Gets dropped for this game, brought on for 10-15 minutes, kind of hung out to dry because we're 3-0 down, nothing's going to happen. What kind of message does that give a young player coming in? Loads of questionable decisions from Roy. Third goal, as I said, 5 minutes into the second half pretty much. Loughton goes through two players. Van Aanholt gets bodied like he's not there. And it's a lovely finish from him, don't get me wrong. It's a fantastic goal in the end. But the defending, just in the initial weaving run that Loughton did on the right-hand side, shocking defending. And that's my problem I've had with Van Aanholt this whole season, is he always gets lost up the pitch, so slow coming back to defend. And when he does defend, he gives the players too much room, not strong enough. He's just, even when he was good, really, really good and on top form for us under like Allardyce, and when he first came into the club, he was always suspect defensively. He's always been suspect at the back. He's been good going forward, but we played 12 players out contract this summer, and it shows. You'd think that would give a kick up the arse for some of those players to try and earn themselves a new deal, but I think a lot of them are just resigned to the fact they're not going to be there next season. There's question marks over Roy. Obviously, I feel like this is his last season, especially after this result. I'll be surprised. You know, I think he'll be there till the end of the season. I don't think Parish is going to be the sort of guy who sacks him in the final year of his contract. And even if we do have a poor run of games like we're in at the moment, our last year results anyway, with Brighton coming up next, God help us. There's so many reasons why that was so poor. Defensively, communication, no one putting a rocket up each other's arse. Luca's meant to be the captain. I don't see any leadership from him this season. I haven't seen any leadership from him. For me, the starting 11 going forward, if we're fully fit, should, for me, be Guaita in goal, Klein, Tompkins, Cahill, Mitchell, Gyro, MacArthur, Zaha, Ayew on the other side, Eze in the middle, Mateta up front. That is my starting 11, period. Roy will never, ever in a million years do that starting 11 because Luca will have to be dropped for Maka, and he'd probably rather have Maka alongside Luca because he has this weird thing that we have to have Luca in the team with Maka alongside him. We can't have just Maka and Gyro. He has this weird thing where he loves to chop and change centre-backs now. We used to be so good defensively last season. He can't, for the life of me, make up. You know, he's got Cahill on the bench. He drops Cahill to the bench for Chiarte, who's been a makeshift centre-back. The reason Chiarte was playing at centre-back this season was because we had injuries and he had to start the season with Chiarte at centre-back. And now all of a sudden he's our first-choice centre-back now. So as soon as he's back fit, he's straight in and Cahill's dropped out the team. Is Chiarte our first-choice centre-back now? So many questionable decisions from Roy and it's so frustrating. You know, I wouldn't be upset if he was gone tomorrow and we had someone, you know, and it was a sign that, you know, obviously a new manager will be coming in the summer or earlier. I wouldn't be upset with that. I don't think it's going to happen. I do think Parish will leave at the end of the season. Equally, I'm not going to be unhappy with that either. We're not going down. But another reason why I think it was so poor today and reason we've been poor the last few games is the players are, I think, are already on the beach. We saw it last season when we guaranteed safety. We were on the beach. When we came back from the break with COVID just came and when we came back, we lost obviously 7 in a row. Whenever we're not in a relegation battle and we do get safe and we get to safety in the league, I know we're not mathematically safe at the moment, but we are. There are 3 teams worse than us this league in terms of, you know, we are safe. That they're on the beach, then there's no ambition in this squad at all. And whether it's because of the age of some players, 12 of them not being having a contract beyond this season, there's so many issues there and so many reasons why I think we lost this game the way we did. Credit to Burnley, they took advantage of a really, really poor Palace team today. And the lowest scorers in the Premier League scored 3 against us at home. And it's just shocking. It's shocking, as I said. And I've rattled off all the points I think off the top of my head I can put out there for why we lost. But at the end of the day, whether or not 12 players in the last year of their contract, whether or not we've got the oldest squad in the league, whether or not we've got players out of form, whether or not we've got problems at centre-back with it and defensively from set pieces and can't, you know, defend to save our lives. That being said, there was no sort of ambition, no pride in in individual performances. It was embarrassing on an individual level. It wasn't embarrassing. The team performance was shocking, but so many individuals out there just didn't have any respect for themselves as individuals, as players, as professional footballers to put in a performance. And I think that's a sign that Roy's effect on the side it's gone. Cahill's done. So many players in that side I think are done. And it's a massive overhaul that's going to be needed in the summer. And I really hope that the board make the right decision with who they're bringing in. I will be doing a video soon, guys, on who I think that should be and my thoughts on the managers that are linked. Obviously, Dyche being one of them, and he's shown today why he's such a good manager, because he's got players that, you know, player for player. Palace had a better squad player for player today, but Burnley, he gets much more out of his players, Dyche, than Roy's getting out of ours, and that's the crux of it. So Ray as well wasn't up to himself, and it's just so many bad reasons there. But credit to Burnley, they deserve the win. And Brighton up next, God help us. If we play anything like that against Brighton, then Roy will definitely be gone. If we play anything like that against Brighton, if the fans were there today, we'd be all over him. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully, please try not to be too toxic about this. I know it's very frustrating for all of us, and a lot of people want Roy out and think that this performance alone is enough to justify him being sacked. I personally don't think he will be. I wouldn't be necessarily unhappy if he went today, because I do think his time is right. Everything he's done for us, Roy, I want him to go on at least to the end of, I want him to go at the end of the season when his contract's up. I wouldn't want him getting sacked early like this. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good, and we need to sort things out in our next game. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe. That's my review of the game. So many areas we need to shape up on, and hopefully we do it quickly, because and Wilf gets back in this side quickly, because it's embarrassing how poor we are without him in the team. Jesus Christ.